forces that are inimical to us to fill in the vacuums there.
Dr. Naik, would you like to comment on that?
No, I see three scenario here. Number one is the continuation of left alliance in Nepal in coming years, maybe 2 years to definitely the KP Oli may be the next Prime Minister. So left alliance most likely continue, and that is not in India's interest, and that may go against India's interest most likely. And the second scenario, I say that the shrinking of India's influence rapid, because mostly because at this moment I don't think the Indian constituents, particularly Nepali Congress, is going to perform very badly in the next elections because of because the dilution of its the support base in Tarai and Pahadi region. And the third thing I can say that the continuation of this anti-India sentiment. So three scenario I think at this moment will unfold in future.
Ambassador, do you think this anti-India sentiment that prevails at the moment beyond the Terai is going to intensify now, and what do we do about it?
Firstly, I don't think so. I disagree quite completely that this anti-India sentiment is something so important and so threatening that we have to base our foreign policy towards Nepal on that. There has always been a so-called anti-India sentiment amongst the elite. It has been for traditional reasons, as I said in the beginning, for despotic rulers to find a scapegoat to blame their misrule and their own mistakes on, and 250 years of conditioning leaves its scars and marks. It is very easy for a Nepali politician to gain cheap popularity, instant popularity by doing, if you served in Nepal, you would know every single day there's somebody, even in the Terai, talking to gain popularity even in his own little region, his own constituency. If there was nothing at that moment, if there was no development which was big, he would say, oh, Indians are encroaching on no man's land on the Nepali side. Something would be found to yell against India to get some cheap popularity, which is politics. The same politicians would be beholden, would be approaching India for many other things, for scholarships for their constituencies, for development projects in their constituencies, and so on. I don't think we need to go into that. That is a fact of politics which can be handled. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not, but that is not, I think, as far as leverages are concerned, yes, I think Nilova is absolutely right that even with China flexing its economic muscles very, very very aggressively in Nepal, and even with the Chinese economy being what it is, almost unstoppable, at the present moment and for quite some time to come, the dependence of Nepal on India on various counts and the leverages that provides us is virtually total in terms of investment, in terms of trade, in terms of everything. The point is, we have taken a decision for some years now that we will not use these leverages in Nepal except, in a negative sense, unless it is absolutely and totally necessary for our security. Because we feel that there is enough goodwill in Nepal to enable us to sort out our problems whenever it happens with Nepal in an amicable way, or in ways that do not require us to go the whole hog in terms of using leverages which actually hurt the people of Nepal more than the leadership. So that is a conscious decision of foreign policy which we have taken, and which I think we should pursue. The Nepali people know about the leverages we had. There will be always, whenever some things happen which are seen to be negative in terms of developments in Nepal, there will be anti-Indian talk. By the way, the surest way, the kiss of death of a Nepali politician, the biggest insult you can offer him in a seminar in Kathmandu is to call him an Indian agent. These are things we live with, because there are enough who are maybe not as vocal, but I quoted the example of Vijay Pandey and his article. There was an editorial in the Kathmandu Post, which by no means can be termed as a pro-India paper, which said that the leadership of the three political parties, which fondly thinks that they can thumb their noses at India and get China to replace India in the spaces that India vacates, are living in a fool's paradise. There is, people are aware of the reality,
right?
And I think our task is not to muscle in as a measure of overreaction, or to consider the Madhesh as some sort of an extension of India, which we can use
Okay.
to add to our leverages, against Kathmandu and its leadership and so
Right.
on. But to engage with the leaders across the political spectrum and explain to them our concerns as we have been doing.
Okay, so you
and
know-
I'm sure behind the
Okay.
scenes we are, these are not all in public domain, that we are nudging.
Okay,
the-
so you
the
remain
leadership.
positive that we would be able to overcome all of this. On that note, it's time for me to wrap up this discussion here. I'd like to thank all my guests for coming to the studios. It was a pleasure having you here. That's it for now in this edition of Insight. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.